connection, yeah, that's a one.
Woot, 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 woot. Wagwan, wagwan. Hello, Jonathan.
Oh boy, welcome each and everyone, and welcome back to myself because we had to take a little break. Last week, some things came up, but we're here. So
Right,
welcome
right.
back to Campus Connection. Another week here to tell you what going on campus. I am Jonathan Fletcher.
And I'm Anesta, and it is certainly a privilege to be here with you all. I trust that you're having a wonderful Tuesday evening. If it's not yet wonderful, I hope by the end of the show it will indeed be wonderful. We're talking about safety and security, and this is a pressing issue on our campuses, in our nation. And so
Absolutely.
you definitely want to make sure that you are locked in. Jump onto our live stream. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And we want to hear from you concerning our question, our social media question for today. What are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and overall safety? So please, please hop onto the live stream, say hello, say good evening, and we definitely want to hear your thoughts on that topic. And of course, Campus Connection is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace, their Live Good Anti-Violence campaign. Listen in as they share.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call Aid Protect to report suspected cases of.
Okay. Where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price. We I want to go on campus. Young people are go hard on campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Walk one from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Hey.
Well, it seems we're having a little technical difficulty there. But yes, we are brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And we're so excited about having them on the show later on today because they will be talking to us about safety and security. And of course, we know, Jonathan, that safety is everyone's responsibility. And the big thing now is cyber threats, cyber security, how
Oh,
to
yes.
truly guard yourself from the risks that are out there, how to spot danger from early on. You know, persons are getting scammed, their
Mm-hmm.
identity being stolen, just a myriad of things happening. And of course, there are so many things that can be done to prevent it. So I'm excited to talk with the experts later on in our main discussion segment. But even before that, Jonathan, we have some things coming up.
Absolutely. So this evening we have our education news and bulletin, and then we go straight into our honor roll segment with Gabriel Davids, a grade 11 student at the St. Catherine High School. And of course, we'll then segue into our I Chose Christ feature by Shamario Dunn, second year architecture student at the University of Technology, Jamaica. And as Anesta said earlier, we're speaking about safety and security. So you want to join us in our main discussion later in the show when we talk about how we can stay safe, and how staying safe is everyone's responsibility. We will speak with Miss Ashley Ann Ashley, cybersecurity and cybercrime policy specialist in the Cyber Intelligence Policy and Incident Response Branch from the Ministry of National Security and Peace, and Miss Rihanna, who is a Tier 2 Security National Operations Center analyst from the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, and they will share expert insights and practical tips to help you stay protected in today's fast changing world. So you want to be a part of that discussion. We're going to go straight into our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by Camille Lawrence, our campus consultant.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, September 23, 2025. Statin deepens educational partnerships to advance data literacy in schools. The Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing education through strategic partnerships with schools and ministries, with a focus on promoting statistics, mathematics, and data literacy. Director General Leisha De Latibodere told JIS News that Statin continues to expand its educational programs to make statistics more accessible in the classroom and foster an appreciation for data-driven decision-making among students. The Director General noted that Statin has forged several partnerships with government ministries and agencies that highlight the importance of research and data in policy development and advancing educational outcomes. These include work with the Ministry of National Security and Peace on the Jamaica National Crime and Victimization Survey and the Ministry of Health and Wellness on the Reproductive Health Survey. Mr. Latibodere emphasized that these collaborations not only strengthen national capacity for data collection and analysis, but also serve as platforms to demonstrate the practical application of statistical methods for real-world challenges. She added that Statin's educational initiatives are strategically aligned with Vision 2030 Jamaica, the country's national development plan, particularly the outcomes emphasizing world-class education and training. Custis Green leads initiative to equip Manchester school libraries with the Constitution. The Office of the Custis of Manchester is leading an initiative to ensure that every school library across the parish has a copy of the Jamaican Constitution, where students can freely and readily access the document. The move is in keeping with the Manchester Beliefs, Values and Attitudes program, initiated by Custis Honourable Garfield Green, which is aimed at fostering positive values and attitudes and a sense of social responsibility among citizens of the parish. By placing the document into the hands of students, the hope is that it will inculcate a sense of patriotism among the youth. Regional Director for the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Susan Nelson Smith, in supporting the initiative of the Custis, noted that the ministry has made a significant commitment to strengthening civic education in schools. And now for the bulletins. Get ready for the Passion and Purity Co-ed High School Conference 2025 under the theme Fully Jesus Lit. Come for the dance, come for the drama, come for the panel discussions with inspiring speakers, Reverend Stevenson Samuels, Dr. Daniel Thomas, Pastors Andrew and Donette Norman, live ministry performances by Darren Collum, Chevelle Stewart, David Sutton, and the Genesis Praise Squad, all happening at the Cedar Grove Academy, Gregory Park Main Road, Portmore. Admission is free. Saturday, October 4, 2025. And don't miss our Christian Teachers in Action Forum, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with guest speaker Mrs. Elaine Foster Allen, former principal of the Shortwood Teachers College. Mark your calendars, spread the word, and don't miss out on Passion and Purity Co-ed High School Conference 2025, October 4, starting at 9 a.m. That's the education news and bulletins for Campus Connection. I am Camille Lawrence.
All right. Thank you so much, Camille, for the education news and bulletin. Here's our question for you. What are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and overall safety? We want to know your thoughts. As always, connect with us on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We also have our studio lines open, and the numbers to call are 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can even send us a message on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. We need to know if you're doing anything. What exactly are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and just your overall safety? Because that is extremely important. We're going now to our honor roll segment, which will,
Well,
yeah, honor roll, you know. This is that part of the
mhm.
show, Jonathan, where we start to cringe and tremble
have to sit up
because,
when it's honor roll time, I have to,
yeah.
yeah.
So we have with us today, Jonathan, Gabrielle Davids, a grade 11 student at the St. Catherine High School. And while she's coming on, let me just read a little bit of her resume. I'm sure this isn't everything, but she lives with her parents and younger brother. She's currently a grade 11 student at St. Catherine High School. She has an average of 81.8%, and she's pursuing not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, but 9 CSEC subjects. And while she's doing all of that, she's also been a part of the netball team. She's now a part of the student council body. She does all science subjects, including, guess which one? Additional mathematics, electrical technology, and technical drawing. And of course, she wants to be
Electrical technology.
right. She wants, her goal is to become an aerospace engineer. My. Gabrielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good evening.
Wow.
Gabrielle,
First of
we
all,
are already very impressed, like
yeah,
beyond impressed, if you will.
yeah.
You know, kudos to you on what you have been able to achieve so far. I don't feel pressured at all. Don't mind my facial expression right now. Not like I'm shaking or anything in my chair. But Gabriel, some of these things that you are currently doing, one would say they are beyond the norm, right? When I hear of things like additional math and electrical technology and stuff like that, Gabriel, what happened? How end up here? Tell us.
Honestly, I love math. It is my favorite subject.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I picked electrical and TD and all science because that is what I have to do in order to become an engineer.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about
So that's the goal. That's the dream.
Yes, it is.
who is an aerospace engineer and what exactly would you do in that role?
Okay, so an aerospace engineer, they design spaceships and satellites and all of that. So I've always been interested in stars. Ever since I was small, I've always looked up at them in the sky. And I love math and science. So those things led me to wanting to become an aerospace and researching what it is to be an aerospace engineer.
Wow. That's all I can say.
That is really something else. So you've been interested in stars, and one would say the general sky and space and all of those wonderful things. Tell us though about how do you feel now with, because you're doing sports plus academics. Do you feel overwhelmed, or are you just, going through like the trooper that you are?
Well, currently I'm only doing student council, but while I was doing sports, I had to really manage my time well in order to not feel pressured. I also took time to relax because, you have to keep a balance with everything. So I created study timetables. I had to become very disciplined in order to maintain this high standard that I have for myself.
So exciting. We're talking with Gabrielle Davids.
Wonderful.
Love it. And we're going to jump to a quick break, but when we return, more Campus Connection. Stay with us.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price. I want to go on campus. from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Yeah.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time that Grace could move is...
It's now 16 minutes. That's 5:46, I beg your pardon. This is Love 101 FM.
September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month, and on the next episode of The Mailbox, we'll be looking at managing sickle cell. Sickle cell disease is a group of inherited red blood cell disorders that affect hemoglobin, causing red blood cells to become stiff and crescent-shaped, blocking blood flow and leading to recurring episodes of pain. You are invited to join the conversation with our guests, Mr. Paul Brown from Sharks Hope Foundation and Mr. Noel Bell, as they share bite-sized facts and stories from persons living with sickle cell disease. That's Wednesday, September 24 at 5:30 p.m. only on the family station. Love 101, The Mailbox, Monday.
See all my other face bruise up? They beat me just because I said I'm tired.
I'm only 13, but they said if I work harder, they will make me go back home.
Me not have no birth paper nor no ID. Them have all of my documents then. Forced labor is one of the many forms of human trafficking. Report suspected cases of human trafficking. Call the nearest police station, 119 or 888-PROTECT. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Ready to achieve success? Registration for the January 2026 CXC CSEC exams is open from September 1 to October 15. Register now via our new portal, OEC Online. With OEC Online, you can register and pay for exams from anywhere. Secure your CXC subjects and invest in your future today. Call 876-618-3721 or visit our website at overseasexams.org.jm. The OEC, providing educational services with integrity.
Me just never did I get through with no work, you know. And me did I get desperate. Till one day me see one ad, but them want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station, 119 or 888-PROTECT. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
We know you're making every dollar work harder, choosing carefully, buying what you need, and making it stretch as far as you can. That's why Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. It's our way of helping you sweeten moments together, share more meals, and take care of the people you love. Make a good move with 20% savings from Grace.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. It is such a privilege to be here with you as we seek to discuss this topic of safety and security. But just before we get there, though, there is a question that we want all of you to answer. And thanks so much to those who have already hopped into our comment section, because yes, we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We want to know what you are doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and just overall safety. Now, before the break, we were talking a little bit with Gabrielle Davids. She's a grade 11 student at the St. Catherine High School. Now, when I say bright spark, because she has an average of 81.8%, she's doing 9 CXC subjects, including additional mathematics, electrical technology, and technical drawing. And of course, she wants to become an aerospace engineer. So, Gabrielle, here is my question for you. How on earth are you managing to be... First of all, AdMaths is not a light thing. It's not for the faint of heart.
That alone.
How are you managing to do so well in school, but still be involved? You've been on the netball team, student council. How are you doing this?
Honestly, all right. I have to thank God because He's blessed me with a great mind. but I don't take it for granted. So I always make sure to study as well. But I have to thank my parents because they've helped me with my time management and getting things done. My mother, especially, she's always like, "Have you completed your homework?" and all of that. Some nights she'll even stay up with me when I have to stay up late to get my work done. But it's really time management and discipline.
I love it.
And I'm seeing here in the chat, I'm assuming these are your church members or congregants because they're lighting up the chat right now. Exactly. How important is it for you to maintain a relationship with Christ even while you study? How important is that to you?
It is really important for me. I've been in church since I was born. I got baptized when I was 7. So I always put God in everything I do. I always put him before everything. There's a quote that says that if God is all that you have, you already have all that you need. So I always make sure to put the Lord in everything.
Love it. And I feel like there's some wisdom that you would have gained over the years that you could now just kind of share with our listening audience in terms of what strategy or what word of advice would you give to someone who wants to be this successful in school? What would you say to them?
I would say you have to set standards for yourself. You can't live up to other people's standards, but you can live up to your own. When you set standards for yourself, you're going to want to work to achieve those standards, and you have to really want it and to put in the work. And to do this, you also have to have discipline. Because with discipline, even when you don't want to do something, you still get up and do it. So all I have to say, discipline, hard work, and prayer.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. Gabriel, thank you so much for making it on a roll here inside Campus Connection on the Family Station Love 101. And I can't let you leave without bigging up your people because trust me, they're here supporting you all the way. So please go ahead and take a few seconds, just a few seconds, and try to big up as many persons as possible.
Okay, I'd like to big up my mother, Rosine Davids, and my father, Nigel Davids. I big up my church family, the House of Transformation, my friends, my teachers, and all of my extended family.
Oh,
perfect. Wonderfully done. All right, there you have it. Honesta, you good? How are you feeling after that?
I'm good. I mean, I'm good. You know, I'm proud of you, Gabriel, and I wish you
so
all
proud.
the best.
So proud.
We are so proud of you and Campus Connection. We wish you all the best as you continue to strive for excellence. We know you're going out of this world. You're going to space. We know it. We know it.
Beyond the sky. The sky is not your limit. And so we're looking forward to hearing and seeing you all over the place in a few years to come. So big up yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, no problem. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gabriel Davids, grade 11 student, an amazing student. She is involved in student council. She is doing additional mathematics, electrical technology, technical drawing. She's really going against the odds, if you ask me, and we're so very proud of her. And so we are going to go straight into our I Chose Christ feature, and this will be done by none other than Shamario Dunn, second-year architecture student at University of Technology, Jamaica. Listen in and be blessed.
Hey guys, my name is Shamario Dunn, and I am a second-year architecture student. And my testimony comes on the basis of having faith in your crisis or courage in your crisis, standing firm in what you believe. If Jesus Christ have called you and changed you and transformed your life and taught you standards, taught you how to operate and believe, don't compromise regardless of wherever you go. You may be on campus, you may be in high school, wherever you are, understand that Jesus has called us to be uncompromising in our faith, choosing to be resilient, especially as young people in this time and this dispensation. My testimony comes on the basis of that I was assigned to leadership positions on campus. And because I refused to entertain certain behaviors, certain activities here on campus, refusing to compromise my stance in what I know is righteousness, I know is standards of God's grace and mercy, and refusing to compromise on same, the two positions were revoked from me because I refused to accept that which they were entertaining. Not that I was being unrighteous, because I know I'm not perfect, because his word declares that all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. But when he has shown you that which is good, when he has shown you and given you the ability to discern between right and wrong, we have a responsibility to stand up against the enemy. At my church, we are taught when the enemy attacks, his attacks must be met with violent force. I'm not saying you should be disrespectful. I'm not saying that you should overrule authority. But when there are particular chain of command, when there are rules and regulations set out to govern you as a leader in any institution, wherever you step, please stand up for righteousness. They were taken from me. The positions were revoked because I refused to accept a particular behavior by a sector of persons on campus. And that for me gave me the opportunity to say, guess what? Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Jesus' ministry was characterized like that. He was never known in his first part of his ministry. Then he was known by everyone, popular. And then in the third part of his ministry, he was rejected. He was rejected because of what he stood up for. So if you are going through anything this year, you may feel alone, understand that you are never alone. And because I chose Christ, because I chose to stand up for him here on campus, they refused to enroll me back in my position. But I know Jesus Christ is with me. So today, I chose Christ, and you should too.
Wow. Wow. Powerful testimony there from Shamario Dunn. And, honestly, I believe both of us, we can identify with Shamario in some aspects, being the fact that we have been student leaders on campus, and it's very important for us to stand up for righteousness regardless of how we'll be viewed. When they said that blue shirt is strong, for those who went to UTech and are part of the UTech Students Union, but as Christians, we had to really stand up for righteousness regardless of what was up against us and in front of us. So very proud of Shamario Dunn, second year student at the University of Technology, Jamaica. Right about now, we are going to go into another break. We want you to stick and stay with us here inside Campus Connection on the family station Love 101, because we are going to be having a wonderful discussion, an important discussion on the topic of safety and security. So we want you to be a part of that. Remember, Campus Connection is brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace, their campaign Live Good Anti-Violence. And so we want to push this message as much as possible as we continue to live good with our neighbors. We take a break right now.
Amitana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock. Home is more than a roof over your head. It's safety, dignity, and pride. This is why the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development continues to build and furnish concrete houses for our most vulnerable through the Indigent Housing Program. Since the program's inception, we have built more than 100 houses, and another 45 will be constructed this financial year. We're building sturdy homes for Jamaicans who need it the most. Built strong, built to last. Local government is working for you.
Me just never did I get through with no work, and me did I get desperate. Till one day me see one ad, but them want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just now joining us, you missed quite a bit, I do have to say. You missed our I Chose Christ feature, which was just before the break. You also missed our honor roll segment. We had a really fun discussion with Gabrielle Davids from St. Catherine High School. We're going now to our discussion on the issue of safety and security. And let me just say that, criminals have gotten advanced. Criminals have gotten advanced. I believe it was last week, the Ministry of National Security hosted a cybersecurity workshop, and we're getting more and more educated about this concept of cybersecurity and cyber crimes even, and how they can sometimes be perpetrated against you. And so this is why it's important for us to arm ourselves with the knowledge of what exactly we can do to protect our identities, to protect our information. And we have with us two guests who are going to just shed some light on this topic. We have Miss Ashley and Ashley, cybersecurity and cybercrime policy specialist at the Ministry of National Security and Peace. We also have Miss Rihanna Hajigal, a Tier 2 Security Operations Center analyst at the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team. Now, welcome, ladies, to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Awesome. So we're here to talk about safety and security. And my first question to you all is, what exactly is cybersecurity, and can you tell us why it's even important in terms of just our overall safety? So I don't know who feels like they need to tackle that one first.
I think I will tackle this one.
All right.
When you look at it, cybersecurity, it is an essential part of Jamaica's overall safety, because if you really look at it, everything that we do now, it is intertwined with technology, right? So if you look at our banking sectors, if you look at when we're online shopping, right? Healthcare, education, all of our digital systems, they are at the core of how Jamaica functions, right? So if you're looking at it from the national level, a cyber attack on critical infrastructure could disrupt public services. Look at it. What would we do if we don't have any lights? Right? But if we don't have any light for 2 hours, it's like, we don't know what to do, right? But if we're looking at it from an individual level, one person's compromised device can lead to things such as identity theft, or if I look at it, even financial losses. So locally, Jamaicans face, or what we're seeing here is they face common threats. And some of these threats that we're seeing are phishing emails and text messages. And what we're seeing is these phishing emails and these text messages, what they do is they trick you. They trick you into revealing sensitive information. And one popular one that we're seeing now is we're seeing a text message from Jamaica Post, right? And it is saying, we have a package for you and the package is undeliverable. And, most of the times, we as Jamaicans, we don't order nothing, but we're so curious as to what it is. And it includes a link, and when you click on that link, it asks you for your personal information. And you would be surprised what these criminals can do with your name, your address, and your telephone number, right? We're also seeing online scams, and what these online scams does is it promises you quick money for things such as fake job offers. We're also seeing hacking. We're seeing a major increase in hacking of social media accounts. We're seeing identity theft. We're seeing ransomware attacks that targets organizations, right? We have also seen recent cyber incidents affecting government entities, which really demonstrates the seriousness of these threats. So, in response to all of this, the government of Jamaica, we have taken deliberate steps to strengthen the nation's cyber defenses. So, through the Ministry of National Security and Peace, as well as us here at the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, we have increased our investment in monitoring these cyber threats, in detecting them, and we also do rapid response capabilities, right? We're also doing public awareness. So we let individuals know, we educate the citizens of Jamaica that, hey, this is the signs that you need to look out for, right? I feel as though young people are especially at risk because we spend so many of our times online, right?
Online,
So
yeah.
we definitely. So we have young people, we have exposures to online predators because if you look at it, we're seeing some video games. You know, there's a popular one, I think it's called Roblox, where you're having conversations with these people, right?
Yes.
We're seeing also some fake influencers accounts, and we're seeing scams that use social engineering tactics. That includes AI generated contents that appear real, and it's kind of hard to distinguish with the naked eye what is what is the real content as opposed to the AI generated content. However, there are tools out there that can identify what is real from what is fake. But what we have to do as a nation now is we really have to look at the big picture, and we just have to try to combat against these evolving cyber threats.
So essentially, you're saying I should not send money to the Nigerian prince who is sending me random emails. Okay, just want to make sure. Thank you for clearing that up.
Don't click on the link from
Don't click on the link
that says I have a package when I know I didn't order anything.
There are signs that you can really look out for because some of the signs that you can look out for, you would see unexpected messages asking for your personal information, your passwords, or they even ask for your bank details. They send you emails, they call you, they text you, and what they do is they create a sense of urgency or fear, right? So it pushes you to act immediately. Yeah. So you just need to know what to look out for.
Wow. So much to unpack as we continue in our conversation about safety and security. But Ashley Ann, you are a cybersecurity and cybercrime policy specialist, right?
Yes.
What are some of the things that we should actually be practicing? Because we want to give out practical advice now to our listeners and our viewers. What are some of the things that we need to be doing in order to not fall victim to these scams and such delight?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for having us. My system was lagging earlier, so I'm not sure if I was being heard or not.
We're hearing you. We're hearing
you. Great. It's quite a pleasure to be here to partake in this very important discussion today. As Rihanna would have elaborated, cybersecurity is very important because technology is at the base of everything that we do. Technology is incorporated in our daily lives in many different ways, as you would have listed a plethora of examples. In terms of practical tips on how we as a nation can secure ourselves, because at the end of the day, I believe that cybersecurity starts with each and every one of us, and our small contributions in protecting ourselves and our personal devices will add greatly to Jamaica being protected overall. So firstly, this is a little cliche, but you need a strong password So for all your accounts, what you want to do is, as much as it's repeated, not everyone practices doing this. Firstly, you must ensure that you have a strong password. And what I mean by a strong password is ensuring that it's at least 12 characters in length. The longer the better. Utilizing a mix of alphanumeric characters, or even utilizes a lengthy passphrase. And also, please ensure that you're not utilizing one password for all of the accounts that you have. I know a lot of people that do this, and I know some people where I could, not that I would, but I probably could I just know a lot of people too that do this. I am people.
I am people.
No, I would not, 0 out of 10 would not recommend that you continue this practice, because if someone knows you, as simple as it is, your personal data, that is very important information, and that's not something that you want. Let's say your friend has access to your Instagram account, and you're using that same password to log into your bank accounts. No, please. This is not information that you'd want anybody to be privy to. In addition, I would recommend taking the extra step to utilizing multi-factor authentication. And
Yes.
what this entails is essentially adding a second method of accessing your account, or authenticating to your account or device. This could be in the form of a code that is sent to your phone. MFA comes in many different forms, biometric, using your fingerprint or face ID to unlock your account or device. So I feel like it's very important for us to be vigilant and make cybersecurity practices a part of our everyday lives. Don't, when you're at work, don't leave important documents out for anyone to access. It's really simple steps that are overlooked on a daily, that can lead to catastrophic effects. So I would say start with like simple practices to just ensure that you are protecting your space. Your space is sensitized. You're protecting your accounts and your devices.
And just to add to what Ashley is saying, I think that another big one is really keeping your devices and apps up to date. When your phone or your computer says there's an update available, those aren't just about new features, right? What these update does is they fix security problems that these hackers could use in order to get into your accounts, right? So ignoring them, it is basically, think about it like this: ignoring these updates is like leaving your front door unlocked, right? So most
Wow, did
devices
not think about it that way.
so most devices they come with the capability to update it automatically. So turn that feature on. Let your devices update automatically, right? So it's so that you can stay protected.
Yeah. Rihanna, you mentioned earlier, I know we're going to have a break in a few minutes, but you mentioned earlier about the whole issue of deep fake and persons using AI generated content to fish information from people and to get their details, and even to pose as false influencers.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how we can identify the false content, the AI content versus the real content. How can we make that distinction?
So there are a few ways in which you can do that. As I mentioned before, there are tools out there. So you can actually make a screen recording, a little snippet of that content that you're seeing, and you can plug it into a tool. When you go on Google and you type in how to spot AI generated content, the tools will be there. When you look at the AI generated content, you can kind of know that it is AI generated. So sometimes when you see the modes of the individual moving, it's not really syncing with the words. So that is another way that you can detect it. When you look at the overall graphic of the video, you can see that the person does not look real, right? But I would say the most efficient way in order to identify the AI generated content is to plug it into the tools that are available free online.
Mm-hmm. Love it. We're going to a quick break, guys, but when we return, we want to get even deeper into this issue of cybersecurity and specifically cyberbullying. That's something that a lot of our young people deal with. So stick and stay with us right here on Campus Connection. We'll be right back.
Remix this summer with Digicel. Start school with amazing deals on phones, plans, and home fiber internet from Digicel. Conditions apply. Digicel, better connected for back to school. And the time by Digicel is now 6:16 p.m.
See all my other face bruise up? They beat me just because I said I'm tired.
I'm only 13, but they said if I work harder, they will make me go back home.
Me not have no birth paper nor no ID. Them have all of my documents then. Forced labor is one of the many forms of human trafficking. Report suspected cases of human trafficking. Call the nearest police station, 119 or 888 PROTECT. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Jamaica's gangs are like packs of rats. They live in filth and try and drag us all in there with them, spreading the disease of violence and corruption everywhere. But like a pack of rats, they can be eliminated with your help. If you have information on gangs, call Crime Stop on 311. This message is brought to you by Crime Stop and their marketing partners, Lime and NCB.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection, proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And this evening we're talking about safety and security, a very enriching discussion. And I hope that our listeners and our viewers, you are taking notes, because I'm certainly learning. I'm going to make sure that all my apps and all of that are updated as soon as I come off the show this evening.
Apparently, we need a longer password.
Yeah, I have to go think of something now. I don't know. Maybe Ashley and Rihanna can help me. I don't know, but I have to go think of something.
Under the mango tree.
Yeah.
1, 2, 4.
Yeah, underscore exclamation. Yeah. So we want to get deeper into this cybersecurity thing because I've seen several issues online, different persons coming forward with different threats that they've received online. They've received persons using their identity for very malicious reasons, stuff like that. Ashley, based on what you would have seen online, what are some of the more popular kinds of activities when it comes on to cyberbullying and cyber threats that you're seeing currently?
Okay, thank you for that. So essentially, let's get a feel of what cyberbullying is. So cyberbullying essentially is utilizing digital systems to harass or threaten someone in any way, and this comes in many forms. Like you would have mentioned, persons utilizing their accounts or misusing someone else's accounts. Sharing photos or messages without other person's permission, repeatedly insulting or dragging someone's name through the mud, so to speak. So one of the things that from data, what we would see is in the form of harmful speech, as well as the sharing of private photos without consent. This is a serious issue in our society, and a lot of the times I believe it goes unreported, mainly because of the shame that's associated with it. But I would say that the victim is mostly blameless in this situation, and I feel like persons should feel empowered to get some form of justice for themselves and report this to the authorities, or the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team also accepts these reports if it's and harassment takes place in many different areas, whether in your school life or work life. If it's a co-worker, we would encourage you to speak to HR, report it to your immediate superior. If it's at school, speak to a trusted adult, because in children especially, I feel like we have to take extra responsibility for them, because sometimes they're afraid to speak up, and we have to create a sort of safe space, so to speak, where they feel like they can come to you as a trusted adult, whether you're their parent or family member, guidance counselor, teacher at school. We have to create an environment where children feel safe to talk about these things, and we
Yes.
can also lead by example if we are being cyberbullied, because this isn't an issue that's limited to
To
young
children.
persons. Anyone can be cyberbullied. So we should definitely lead by example in reporting this and letting them know that it's okay to speak up.
Definitely. And just to add to what Ashley is saying, sometimes children, they feel as though they don't want to report it because the bully is sometimes persons who they would consider a friend, right? So we need to let them know that it's still okay to reach out. So they can reach out to us, as she said, a trusted adult. It can be a parent, it can be a teacher, it can be a guidance counselor, right? Or to contact us here at the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team directly. We need to let them know that, hey, speaking up doesn't make you disloyal. It's really about protecting yourself and stopping the harmful behavior, right? So by them taking that action early, they can regain the control of their online space, and stop the bullying from escalating, right? And they can feel more confident when it comes on to navigating their digital world. So what we do at the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team as it relates to cyberbullying, what we can do is we can guide the victims through every step of dealing with cyberbullying. So let's take, for example, we can do things like show you how to save the evidence, like any screenshots. We can take you through the steps of blocking or reporting the page. We even we take it a step further and we coordinate with the right authorities, if it becomes very serious. So everything that we do here as it relates to cyberbullying, it's handled confidentially, and our goal is to just help the victim to feel safe and supported.
I love that. Love that. And I think one of the most important things in this, like in our society, especially with our young people, is feeling that there is somewhere to go and having that support. So how can our young people, how can they safeguard against just, further harmful actions being perpetrated against them? So say for instance, I'm one who is being cyberbullied and it has already, gone public. Everybody knows about it now and all of these things. It might even be too late to delete pictures and all of that. How can I ensure that, like you said, this doesn't spread any further?
Yeah, man. So oftentimes that is the case, But as I said before, that is where we come in. So that is where we will give you the proper guidance, how to move forward and how to properly deal with the situation. As I said before, we do collaborate with the right authorities as it relates to this. So we can try just give them the proper guidance and to come to the best solution or resolution as it relates to cyberbullying.
And when we think of cyberbullying, a lot of persons will say, oh, there's not much that can be done because, it's online. Ashley, can you clear up or shed some light on this, demystify the myths out there for us to really understand that this is actually a crime or can be seen as a crime?
Oh, definitely. So when I do understand the concern that a lot of persons have, and when you think about dealing with or reporting to law enforcement in particular, usually think it has to be some form of serious crime, but civil reports exist as well. It's not always in the form of criminal reports. So at the end of the day, cyberbullying is still harassment, and the law enforcement exists to protect and serve. So you actually can report this harassment to any police station. You can go in and they will take your report. And what the MNS and the JCF is actually collaborating on this initiative to essentially streamline the cyber incident reporting process, where all officers at every police station will be equipped with the knowledge of how to deal with and how to take a report like that. So essentially we're going to be doing training for them, where they will know how to better differentiate between the from the cyber side versus any other crimes. So differentiating between civil matters versus criminal matters. And you should definitely be empowered to report if someone is bullying you in any form that it may come, because like I said, even though persons may be thinking it's not a crime, cyberbullying in itself may not be a crime, but it can definitely get there, because it is illegal to share persons' photos, that private photos, or are initiating any fraudulent attempts with persons. So yeah, the framework is definitely in place and is being strengthened to allow for that incident reporting to take place.
And just real quick, can you give us just a list of some of the places that persons can call or reach out to if they are, or if they know someone who is being affected by cyberbullying or any cyber crimes at all?
Okay, so the JCF, like I mentioned earlier, so you are able to go to any police station to report these matters, as well as there is an incident reporting platform within the Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, as Rihanna would have highlighted earlier, where you can report this matter and they will work with you to work through the issue.
All right.
Very important information shared this evening inside our Campus Connection. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I want to thank Ashley and Rihanna for joining us here inside Campus Connection as we really went into the topic of safety and security. I'm thinking that we need a part 2. I don't know if that will be possible, Mr. Producer, but there are a lot more questions that I'd like to ask, a lot more things that I believe needs to be shared, especially to our parents, but for now, thank you very much, ladies, for joining us. We are very grateful.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And thank you as well to our listeners and our viewers for making it Campus Connection here on the family station Love 101, brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace, right? And we want to thank our guests for being here with us this evening. And as I said earlier, you, our listeners and our viewers, special thanks to our team, Jermaine Johnson, Nicky Angus, Shania Smith, Eden Palmer, Ruth Lawrence, and Camille Lawrence, and Raquel Robertson. Thank you so much for the work that you guys do each and every week. See you next week as we explore more things while going on campus. I am Jonathan Fletcher.
And I'm Ernesto. We'll see you next week.
You're tuned to Family Radio in Jamaica. We love 101 FM. The time is now 6:30 p.m. It's time to bring you the evening